Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see on F1 2020 as always, and this video is going to be a little bit different. We do have some gameplay going on in the background, but it is mainly just talking to you about some advice really on how to really maximize your potential in this game and how to get there as quick as you can. So today I'm just going to go through a quick top 5 tips that I think is the best way to get fast at F1 2020 as soon as possible. So going straight into number 1, I think it's very important that you understand setups. So you understand how the wings work, the differential, the geometry, suspension, brake bias, tyre pressures. If you understand that, then you really do make your life a lot easier when you come to do league racing, online lobbies, career mode. I promise you, when you have a better understanding of the setups, not only your pace will be significantly improved, but you will just enjoy the game much more, because I can tell you now, playing on default setup is a traumatic experience sometimes, and especially when you jump into online and they enable setups and you're not running a setup and someone has got a setup custom built for that track. They may be a worse player than you, and you might be a better driver than them, but the setup in this game does give you quite a big advantage. So going on time trial, playing with those kind of stuff, downloading it, playing with it, tweaking it to more of your liking, watching videos like I've done myself, where I've done the setup explanation video, and really just testing out yourself to get something that suits you. That is my number 1 tip, and the first thing you really should be focusing on is understanding setups. Tip number 2 is playing with better players than you, and I think this is probably one of the most important ones. It certainly was for me. I first started playing F1 games probably competitively in 2011, so a very long time ago, and I really increased my rate of progression by simply just playing with players who I considered, not only just in lap time, but I just considered better than me. So I used to play with people like Noble 2909, X-Man EG, so many other people as well, who I really respect and obviously still do to this day. But at the time, I felt, oh, there's no way I could be as fast as those guys, trying to get in lobbies with them. But if you don't know those kind of people and you can't get in lobbies with people you really like, just playing online, going in 5-lap races, just trying to find lobbies where you know if you can search, you can see there's good people in there, or just keep on going online into different lobbies. It will just give you that confidence. Confidence is absolutely key, and just having more experience against players who are faster than you, more experienced than you, it just helps you just progress so much, because you actually have something to aim for. And the more you race with those drivers, the better experience, the more confidence will go up. And once you start actually beating drivers who you consider better than you, then that's when you will really start to unlock your potential. Tip number 3, I think probably the most important one actually, other than understanding setups, it's kind of a similar thing, but it is knowing the strategy for each track. And when I mean knowing the strategy, I don't just mean knowing when to pit, knowing how much fuel you are burning per lap, knowing how much tyre wear for each compound. So if you go on the soft tyre, you know for this amount of laps it's going to wear down this amount. Same for the mediums, same for the hards, same for the intermediates, same for the wets. Really preparing yourself and knowing inside out exactly how it's going to work. So the fuel, the tyre wear, when you're going to pit, of course, what is the pit entry speed, managing your ERS as well, very important, and I'll probably be making a completely separate video on that. But knowing when you use overtake, how long can you use overtake for throughout an entire lap, when does it run out when you use it from the start finish line, and when you're not using overtake, how much can you save, how much can you deplete if you're just using it in quick bursts, how much can you save per lap, because then you can calculate when you can actually attack again. Knowing those things before you go into a race, not just a league race, but just playing online, can just give you so much of a strategic or tactical advantage it's crazy because so many people just use it blindly, and then they have nothing to defend with, and they're completely vulnerable from attack from people from behind, or they can't attack the driver in front. Knowing all these things, even if your speed is not quite up there then yet, just knowing these things, just being able to out-strategize your opponent is absolutely crucial. So again, knowing how much the fuel burns. So if you're leaving it in standard or rich, if you're running in rich for 1 lap, how much per lap does that burn? Write it down. Same with the tyre wear, tyre selection, pit stops, managing ERS, how much overtake you can use per lap. These things, knowing the strategy is absolutely crucial. Tip number 4, watching other players' footage. So this could be, again, kind of linking in with point number 2, is watching people who are experienced with the game. Watching current F1 esport drivers like Jan Rotmir, other drivers, Rasmussen. Watching my videos if you want, when I do my league racing. Now, watching people who are experienced, have good speed at the game. Watching how they drive, how they brake, how they change down the gears, how they go on the throttle, how they use their ERS, how they manage their fuel. Watching people, along with playing with people who are better than me, those 2 things help me so much. And being able to see someone else actually do it, it just gives you that belief that you can do it as well. Because not everyone starts. All these top drivers, they have to start somewhere. I promise you that. I promise you, when they first started, no one just gets a world record straight away. They have to put time into it, a lot of time into it. So being able to watch their footage, being able to pause it, be able to do it in slow motion, be able to rewind it back. 5 years ago, a lot of people on YouTube weren't streaming and all this stuff. Now you have so many people showcasing how they drive, and there are so many different ways to do it. Watching people's streams, downloading their videos, dissecting it, seeing exactly where they brake, because a lot of people use no assist and everything, knowing exactly where they brake, how smooth they go on the throttle, just the steering angle that they apply in, being able to mimic that and watch that just helps you so much. Because if you couldn't see how someone achieves a lap time, I remember on games like 2011 when I used to see people like TSK Stiggy, if anyone knows who that is, being able to watch him, or Noble 2909 for example, when they weren't uploading, I was thinking, how the heck do you get those lap times? Like, I don't know if you have to be really aggressive with the steering, really smooth, but now you have an abundance, you have too much information. So watching other players' footage, people who again you consider better than you, and just really studying how they attack the track, the strategy that they use, the driving style as well, is so valuable. And this leads me to my last point, and it's kind of 2 points in one, but it is time and patience, or practice as well. You need to be patient. This doesn't happen overnight. No, some people do progress much quicker than others, but using myself as an example, I first came into 2011 when I did league racing, didn't win a race for my first 6 months or anything at all, and against very good people at the time. It takes time. You've got to put in the work. It doesn't mean you have to put in 9 to 5 or 8 hours a day or something like that. But I would recommend playing the game consistently. Try and play a bit every day if you can. Try and do all of these things above every day. So going in online lobbies, trying to tweak a setup, download a setup, use it, playing with players who are better than you. Try and learn the strategy for one track for a 50% race or a 25% race, knowing how much fuel is burned when you're in rich mix or standard. Just doing these little things every day. It's like riding a bike. At first, might not be able to know how to do it, but if you do it every day, you're going to progress very quickly, and sooner or later, it will become second nature to you. So you need the time, you need the practice, but you have to be patient as well, because there probably are some people, absolute aliens out there, who can get world records straight away, but you need the patience. I think you need a month or 2 months to really get into the swing of it. And if you play and you do these things above every day, you will be enjoying the game so much more. You will be having so much more confidence, and you will quickly find that you'll be reaching your potential very, very quickly. Let me know if you want me to make dedicated things on the topics I spoke about above. Like I did with the managing ERS that I mentioned, I'll probably be making an entire video on that. But I hope this is useful to you, gives you a little bit of perspective of what it really takes. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.